Okay. I look okay.
You're live.
Hi, guys. How's everybody? Am I speaking Klingon or English? Hi, Nona. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Betty. Hi, Mary R. Hello, hello. Is my mic on?
Yeah, there's a 20-second delay, so.
Okay. English, yay! Hi, Brenda. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, guys. Oh, we're going to have fun today. I like to think we're going to have fun all the time. Hello, Kim. Welcome. Working on my virtual card recipe. Okay. Excellent. I haven't picked one yet, believe it or not. When's the 15th? I've got 3 days. Hi, Ellen. Welcome. Hi, Betty McSorley. You have Fiona with you today, Betty? Slide the TV towards you just a little bit so I'm not looking clear off to the side. I'm kind of looking more to there we go. Thank you. HJ. Hi, Betty. Oh, that was hi. Hi, Mary Glasson. Hope you're feeling well today, Betty. Hope you're having a good day. Get strong, friend. Give everybody just a minute or two to tune in here, and then we will get moving with things here. We have a little pre-business I want to do before we move on to making our new cards. I want to report back on the results of our clock and our coasters from Thursday night. Hello, Linda. Welcome. I want to report back on those, and we need to take a look at the card we finished with last Saturday because we kind of lost the end of it. And then when I played the tape back, hi, Thelma, where we had it finished in chat, the chat got cut off. So I want to just walk through the steps to our final card from last week. So that's our plan, our pre-plan for today. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and take a look at our results from Thursday. Here was our finished clock. I think it's beautiful. I'm so happy with it. Didn't it just turn out beautiful? Oh my gosh, these papers are amazing. I've gotten so many inquiries about the papers. Beautiful, beautiful. And then turn out gorgeous. Hello, Roberta. Hello, Carol. Welcome, everybody. So there's our finished clock. I love it. I totally love it. I just couldn't be any happier with it. It's really, really beautiful. And I love the way just our wrapping around the sides turned out beautiful. It's just, it almost couldn't be better. It's beautiful. I love it. And here is our coasters from Thursday. Yeah, that's true. It would be pretty with a frame around it. Here's our coasters from Thursday. I have now put my foam squares on the back. Your kits will include the foam squares. Did we put the foam squares in them? Yeah, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah, because I asked you for the package, remember? Yeah, we did. We put the foam squares in, and these are self-adhesive foam squares, so it's really easy to put those on. We will eventually have the paper separately. I need to fill the kits first, Brenda, but then if we have paper left, it will be available separately. The other one I told you about is now up. It's called Hortensia Wallpaper. Look at that one with the dragonfly. Isn't that beautiful? This one.
Hold it back towards you just a little.
Okay. Getting off screen.
In. That was fine.
Didn't they just turn out beautiful? And here's our stand. It's all finished. Every part of it has paper covering it. Oh, you can use the Hunkydory coupon as many times as you like, Mary R. As long as the code is active, it will just keep on working for you. So I think our stand turned out beautiful. And I wanted to show you, I wouldn't usually bother to show you my leftovers, but whoops, because we were in question as to whether or not we'd have enough paper to finish, I had all of this left after I finished the stand. So you're going to have plenty of paper to finish your stand for your coasters. Because I was in question of that, but it's fine. It's worked out great. They're very, very, with the cork on the back of them and a nice finish, they're very professional looking. They're really beautiful. So we have those. Those are done. Just a quick glance. We still have a few of the kits left for these. We have the smaller coaster sets. They don't have the stand, but they're $6.99 instead of $12.99. So there's a good reason you don't get the stand. But they turn out beautifully. That's Pink Christmas. Here's Cosmos. So we still have a few of these, not a lot, but we have a few of these kits left. Remember that we also, I put it in the newsletter, but I put in a list of things that you guys have been asking for that are now back. We have the napkin kits back in stock. We have the animal kits with the fox and the bear and the eagle back in. We have replacement sets for the glittered wow and the clear wow back in stock. And by next week, it probably will be in the next few days, but by next week for sure, we will have the snowman kits back in stock. I had to wait. I have just 8 of them, I think. 7, maybe even 7 of them. I had to wait for some more stickers to come in, but oh, see, there's even more paper. But we will have a handful of the snowman kits available. So there you go with that. Let's take a quick look at what we did last week, and we'll recap with going over the card we did not finish. Where is it?
There's more cards behind you.
I'm missing one. I can use that one. Okay. So we'll cover this one last. These are the kit cards we made last week. I'm showing you these because these are part of your kit also. We now have the wallpaper. The Stamperia Wallpaper is now available. Yes, that's the one that I said has kind of a damask pattern, but it's still part of the Stamperia line and the colors all match, Mary. So these are the cards we did last week, and these are part of this week's kit. because it's a combo kit with both kits in it. You get both the Radiant Roses that we're looking at here, and you get the Bejeweled Butterflies that we're working on today. Whoops, that's not last week's. That's today's. Wow, I'm mixed up here. I'm missing another card. What am I missing? Let me get my others here. Oh, man, I don't know. Somehow I mixed up my cards. It's easy to do if you saw how many cards I have in this shop. Okay, hundreds and hundreds of them. Okay, so we got that one. That was part of Radiant Roses. This one's part of Radiant Roses. This one is one you did not see. This was actually, no, that's not my sample. It must be on the table here somewhere. This one was part of last week's. This one, as you'll recall, was our You Can Do It Either Way You Like card, where you can put the jewels on or not put the jewels on. I'll show you that again so that you can make your own decision about whether you like it outlined or not outlined. It was about a 50-50 split last week. You guys' opinions. And then this one. So that's our 5 cards from last week. And this card was the last one that we completed. So let's just go over this very briefly. This card came right off the side of the cardstock. We covered a 5x7 card. Then we put our jewels down the side of it. And this is just one piece of tape. They're just not cut apart here. Then we took the frame that we had left over, because you'll recall we took the frame out of here because we wanted the red behind there. So that silver frame I used to put a piece of black glitter cardstock behind it and make this topper bigger in the process. So I put my smaller topper into this frame that we created. I used my small topper off to the side, a piece of my pink organza ribbon tied in a 515, and I built this topper set right here. I did it after, but I put this on some foam squares and I put it on my card, and then I took a piece of this adhesive jewel. I just cut a piece of pink off of there, and I kind of fed it under just the edge of here. No sense putting jewels where you can't see them. It would have been a waste. So I put just a piece of like a 1-inch piece. I fed it up under there, and down from here, there's a little stripe there on your cardstock, and that's what I followed and put the jewels on. And that was our finished card. So we have 5 cards from last week. Really, really pretty rose cards. These would be spectacular Valentines, by the way. Really beautiful with the roses and the pinks. Now let's talk about today. We'll go through the components of our kit. You will get the rose topper set. I don't happen to have one here with my materials because I already finished the rose, but you get the Radiant Rose topper set. Then you get the Bejeweled Butterflies we're working on today. You'll get a full sheet of this. What is this called? This is called, it's a kind of mirror, but it's called, it's not frosted. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. And Brittany, France. Well, welcome to our French neighbor. Welcome. Thanks for the Statue of Liberty. But this is beautiful. This is from Crafter's Companion. It's kind of a glossy finish. And it's called Fuchsia. It's from one of their luxury paper packs. You're going to have some black glitter cardstock from Hunkydory. You have 2 1/4 sheets. Most of the kits will have one of these, and then an A4 size piece of adhesive card. I'm going to use leftovers for my purposes, because why not? We'll save the good pieces to put in your kids. We love it. So I'm using some adhesive. Why did I choose to do this? Well, I chose to do this because we ran out of this cardstock, and I thought, I think we can use that, so we're going to learn together. But I think it should be just fine. And I had lots of the black glittered adhesive, so I thought, why not? Let's do that. Okay, you should have you're going to have a piece of 8x8 working paper. That's from Hunkydory's Cardstock Essentials. You're going to have for today 2 of the 5x7 300 GSM cards. You're going to have 2 A6 300 GSM cards, and you're going to have 1 DL, the 4x8 300 GSM cards. You're going to have a window for your shaker card. You're going to have a roll of tape to make your shaker card. You're going to have silver jewel dazzles, as well as as well as our other embellishments that we used in the Radiant Roses. I think these are really fun too, and I wanted you to have a chance to try these if you haven't tried them on the butterfly cards in the past, because they're really beautiful. So just for contrast, I tossed in a half a sheet of the Bejeweled Dazzles. We now have these, by the way. You're going to love working with this tape, and we have this in other colors. It just came in our box from Hunkydory, so yay us. You're going to have a little packet of holographic pink stars for our butterfly card. Hello, Marilyn German. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you could join us live. That's exciting. Same for you, Catherine. I'm so glad you could welcome us. And there's Elsie. Welcome, everybody. This is exciting. We have lots of new faces. Elsie's been here a time or two, but it's just so nice to have you guys here. You also have a DL piece of holographic mirroring and foam squares. So this is a big kit, guys. It's a big kit, but you know what? It had to be a pretty big kit to do 10 cards. And we're going to do 5 of those today. So I better get my Heidi in gear and get going here. All right. Let's see how these cards lay out on the cardstock. I think that's kind of fun to show you where I'm getting the background card and just show you how they all lay out on the cardstock. So let's set our toppers to the side for just a moment. Get rid of our... Okay, so we have, these are our 2 pieces of cardstock. And clearly this one is coming from right here, although you will see that I brought it in just a little ways from the edge. I wanted it, if I got over here too far, it didn't leave me room to get this strip on here and still capture that full big butterfly. So I moved it over. Oh, sorry. Thank you, hon. So I moved it over just a little bit. It comes from right there. This one clearly comes from right there. This one comes from right here. This one comes from over here. And this one doesn't use the backer sheet at all. So that's how they lay out. Let's go ahead and let's start on simple ones, because I always like to do that while I get my head in the game and get ready. I think it's, what do you about you guys? Do you dive right into the tough stuff, or you start out slow and work your way up? Okay. Hi, Betty Goswell. Welcome. Okay, let's see here. Get my tape out. You guys know that I love my finger lift tape. So I'm going to start, as usual, by putting down 3 rows of tape. 1 in the middle, 1 on each edge. I'm not careful about the way I put my tape down. I don't care if it's straight or crooked. I only care that it's down there solidly. It's not going to show anyway. Our teacher must be having internet problems. Is everything okay out there, guys? Can you see and hear me okay?
Everything's showing perfect over here.
Kim, can you see and hear okay? Somebody give me some feedback and let me know. It's all looking okay from this side, so if there's problems, let me know. Everything's okay? Okay. All right. Good. Okay. I was worried there for a second. We've had our share of internet problems, but we downloaded some new software and we're trying that. Okay, good. We're trying that, and we just wanted to make sure that everything is actually going all right. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to put this quarter sheet on here, which I usually don't cut these before I need them, but I was already including so much cardstock that I actually took this down to a quarter sheet. And I have tiny bits of white showing on 2 edges, so you know what I'm going to do about that. I'm going to get my paper cutter out here. Slide some of my other stuff out of the way. I can get to my paper cutter. They are pretty, aren't they, Catherine? Beautiful. This is the Rose Quartz collection from Hunkydory Crafts. And a lot of the embellishments and things we're using are from Hunkydory. The jewels are from Hunkydory. We're actually using cardstock from a company called Crafty. They're in the UK. And we're using the Miri paper we're using is from Crafter's Companion. The ribbon we're using is from a US company called May Arts. And then the pink ribbon is from Creative Expressions.
Mary R is asking, the heat-resistant double-sided papers are sold out. Are they on reorder?
I think they just got here. I haven't gone through the Find It trading box that came in last night yet, but I think they just got here. So, yes, they should be back up very soon. Taking a little extra off because for some reason I probably wasn't paying enough attention. Now, my fold is crooked. What's going on here? Well, just in the interest. That is weird, though. My fold line is off. That doesn't usually happen with these cards. Keep trim until I don't have anything left. That looks square. When I folded, I still get a bit of wankiness. Well, tell you what I'm going to do. Interest of time, I'm not cutting it back anymore, and I'm not starting over with a fresh card. I'm trimming off that white part because my fold line is throwing things off. So, I'm just taking liberties with my card here. Okay, anyway, now I have a black glitter covered sheet. Could throw my measures off for this one, but hey, what's life without a little challenge, right? Okay, this card started out being 4 1/8 inches wide. I'm going to start with 3 7/8 for my width, and I'm probably going to have to go more narrow because that should be your measure. I'm going to have to go more narrow most likely because of the trimming I did. It's not bad, though. It's not bad. Maybe I'll leave it. Okay. And for length, our cards start out being 5 7/8 inches long. I'm going to cut this to 5 5/8 inches long as my starting point. That should be your measure. And it's going to be a little long because of the trimming I did. So I'm going to take a little more off of there. Took about a quarter off. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm keeping it. That looks all right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Glue is the best adhesive if you're working on top of cardstock. This cutter is the best cutter I have, but you've heard that a million times, so I won't go through all that again. I do love my cutter pillar, though. It's a dandy.
Sharma just joined.
Excuse me? Oh, hi, Sharma. Welcome, welcome. Excellent. Glad you're hearing me. Okay. There's my topper. And did I get a ribbon pack, honey? I didn't get a ribbon pack.
You don't. Oh.
Yeah, I do. All of my ribbon today is 5/8. Oh, is somebody going to come see us? Okay. Bryce is bringing some ribbon around, so he brought our friend to see us. Hi, Ted. Hi, Teddy. Hi, Teddy. Hi. Teddy has to make his little cameo appearance. There you are, happy. There he is. There he is. This is just the sweetest boy ever. Proof positive that we should adopt from the Humane Society. He is a real winner, this boy. You can get down where you can look at him. You get down where you can look. He said, well, I'll get down where I can look on your table and see if there's anything I want. You can see my mess behind me. It's really a disaster.
Pretty much.
Okay. Thanks for the visit. Oh, don't just jump. Okay. All right. Back to our card. We're going to tie some bows. We need to tie some bows so we can get those drying. So, oh, exciting news, by the way.
Okay.
Embellishment Attic, or also known as Tattered Lace, who owns them, at least to my knowledge, they used to, I believe they still do, has released the mini and midi bow makers. And I was able to pick some up. So we have those out there on the site for as long as they last. As you know, you never ever know. This is a pink one. I don't have this one, but I will tell you that the midi is just a little bit narrower than this one, and it's the same size teeth. So for little bows, these minis and midis work really, really well. I'm not sure where my red one went. That's why I'm using this one. But oh, Bryce is bringing one. I tell you what. Let's just pop one of these out and take a look at it. She says as she struggles with the cellophane. Yeah, these are not a different size. I think this is exactly the same size as the old ones. It's just in a different color. They're calling this blueberry. Blueberry. And the midi comes with 2 combs in it. You can use them together or separate. I have not practiced with them together. I have to figure out what I am, how they're doing that. Oops, I haven't figured that out. But these are the 2 combs. You get a little one, which is just right for a 2-inch bow. And then you get this one that is, I said this one was a little bit narrow. It's actually quite a bit narrower, but it will handle just about any of your bow making tasks, really. And then they pop together and they have a little clip on them for storage. But let's just use one of these. I kept one out in the house. I'll have to put my one in the house back in inventory. But okay, I'm going to make a 4, 5, 4. Let's see if they put numbers on. They put the numbers on this one. We're actually going to be able to... No, they didn't. They put printing on them. Did they have numbers at the top? They do have numbers at the top. They numbered the tines again. They haven't done that with the more recent ones. So now when I tell people they're going to tie a 4, 5, 4, they can actually see a 4, a 5, and a 4 on their bow maker. So I'm going to tie a 4, 5, 4. Why? Because I can. I'm going to tie a 4. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to wrap around the tine this time. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to wrap around the tine here again. One of the things I'm finding is if I wrap around the tine and come back in at it, I'm not having to... I'm not having as many challenges in getting the loops of the bow to spread out pretty. So let's tie that. If you don't know what I'm doing, you need to take my bow class.
Did you answer Thelma's question?
Are they different size than the old ones? Yes, I did ask. I did answer. Thank you, Sharma. That's nice of you to excuse my mess. Okay, and there, my friends, is our perfect bow. It's as easy as that to get beautiful bows on your projects. So let's do another one because we need a total of 5 bows for 5 cards today. So let's do another. I'm going to tie another 4, 5, 4 because that's a good size right there. That's exactly what I want. So I'm using 1/4-inch ribbon. This happens to be the red blue from May Arts. Going to come around this. I'm just coming around the 5. The only thing I'm doing differently is instead of going around the back, I'm looping it under. Instead of coming around back here, which I normally would do, I'm just coming around the tine and coming back across the face.
Carol's arrived.
Hi, Carol. Welcome, friend. We're just tying up some bows for our cards today. I have 5 cards, 5 bows. I got bow happy on this lot. There's something about these pink hearts are decidedly feminine, and there's something really feminine about putting a bow on a card, though. It just really adds to the femininity of it. So that's probably why we got so many. Oh, hello. Oh, got away from me. Okay, there's another perfect bow right off the bow maker. So if you're having trouble with spreading the petals on your bows, try this new technique that I've just really discovered recently, which is to go around the tines instead of going behind them. I'll do it another time here. In fact, we'll do it a couple more times here because we have a lot of bows on these cards. We're going a 4-5-4 on this little one. This would be a 5-1-5 on the red one, that bow maker that most of you have. Go around the first one. Get it upside down. I can't see my numbers. No, start again from the front. It doesn't have the gap that we're used to with the red one between the 5 and the 1, so it's helpful to have the little numbers. 5, and I'll get used to just knowing where things are, but I'm not used to it yet. This is my very first bows off of this bow maker.
What do you mean by you're going around it differently than you did before?
See this?
Oh.
I normally would have been bringing it all the way around the back, but I'm just wrapping around the tooth and then coming back across the front. What that's doing is making it easier to separate the loops.
Really?
Yeah. They don't tend to hide inside each other as much. But the way I was doing it before, I was actually wrapping one ribbon right over the top of the other, and one of the loops tried to hide inside the other one all the time. And that's one reason I had to use my tape to hold them in place, is because that little loop would try then to stay inside the other one, and I'd have to tape it in place. This is working really well. See, they come right off in the 3. So I actually discovered this when I was using the We Are Memory Keepers, the big bow maker for tying the Christmas ribbons. Which, by the way, I still have Christmas ribbon left, guys. So if you are in the midst of wrapping your packages like most of us are and need more ribbon, I've got a heck of a deal on really nice quality ribbon. So check that out. Okay, that's 3. What's the matter? Oh, the computer's trying to die on him. Okay. I hope I put enough ribbon in these kits. We may have to cut another piece of ribbon and put in there, because I'm looking at this thinking, I need 5 bows for these 5 cards. I think we might have to put another length of ribbon in, but the good news is we still have the kits sitting here, most of them. So,
did you use both ribbons?
Well, the other one's the big one, and I used that on last week's card.
Oh.
I got confused.
Can't
That's the nice
ribbon at the same time.
No, I can't walk and chew gum either.
Good night, Catherine. 12 in the morning.
Oh, are you leaving us, Catherine? We'll see you on the replay. Okay. Nice to see you, though. Thanks for dropping in. Hi, Diane Ames. Welcome.
Arns, Arnes.
Oh, Arns. I'm not looking up till I finish this bow. Yeah, I think we need to put another yard of this 1/4 inch in their kits, because I have 4 ribbons here. And that's about right. So maybe I just miscounted the bows. But we will rectify that. That's why it's always good that I test your kits, too.
Are you sure you need 5? Because we've got 5. Oh, that's the card you're making there?
Yeah. Here's my 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. They all have bows.
You need another piece?
Yep. I could use the 1/2 inch if I need to right now. If you have it right there, that's good too. I only need a half a yard, so if you just want to cut me off a piece, that's okay. I had a tough time tightening that one, but I won. Okay, one last one. Yay! It's a Christmas gift for yourself. I believe in Christmas gifts for yourself. I think you need to treat yourself nicely. And the way you love purple like I do, that will be something that you will enjoy for a long time. Okay, last bow, I promise. But you can see how fast we're getting beautiful bows using our little bow maker. If you don't know how to do this, let's get you signed up for a bow making class. I don't have one on the schedule, but I will put one on as soon as I have people that want it. So if you're one of those people, let me know and I will get one scheduled. I try to do one every 6 to 8 weeks because it seems like we have somebody new or somebody who would like a refresher at least that often. So we're probably about due for a bow making class. Okay. And there we have our final one. 5 bows. Let's put some best glue ever on them because they are all positioned over our cards instead of wrapping around. There's not a single one of these that I have wrapped. I did wrap the ribbon on this one, but if you watch, I'm actually going to need another. I'm going to put another full yard of this in because I'm going to need a piece to wrap the card too. Yeah, I really underestimated the ribbon in this somehow, but we'll fix it. And if anybody already got the kit and you find that you're short on ribbon, let me know and I will send you another length of it in your next order, okay? I will never short you on anything on purpose. I just sometimes miscount. Yeah, the more you handle them, the looser they get. But if you can, there's 2 things I have that are suggestions for you, Betty. One is pull them nice and tight when you first take them off, and that helps. You know, you may not be tightening them quite enough. And the other thing is if you're continually having trouble finding or having the bows come loose, take a little piece of your easy. Now I've already tied all of them and I can't show you what I'm talking about, but take a little piece of your easy tear tape or your finger lift tape, put it on your ribbon, you know, expose the adhesive, obviously, and then tie your half knot over that. So put it on while it's still on your bow maker, and then tie your half knot. What that's going to do is get a little bit of sticky on the fibers inside that knot. Does that make some sense? Put a little tape on it before you pull it off your bow maker, Betty. That's what Margie does with hers, because she has the same issue with her bows coming loose. So she puts a little bit of tape inside her knot just by putting it down on the ribbon before she takes it off the bow maker and before she ties her half knot at the end. I need to start storing my glue bottle upside down. Just waiting for it to get to the bottom. It's ridiculous. I've been using this tube of glue for probably 2 years, though. So it's allowed to. I just need to shake it down a little. Okay. There we go. And as usual, I'll show you. I'm putting just the, can you see that there? I'm putting just the tiniest amount. There we go. Putting just the tiniest amount of best glue ever on the back of these. Just a tiny. So you want a class, Roberta, that addresses working with the little bow maker? Is that what you're saying? Okay, I could do that. The cost of this bow maker, this set, and the other one are really virtually the same. I think this little one goes for $23.95 for this set. And the big one with the magazine is $24.95, I think. So it's virtually the same. But I could definitely build a kit that includes the little one instead of the bigger one. And we can practice with that. Now this, I will say, this little one, you're not going to be able to do some of the really heavy ribbons like we did with the big one. So it'll be a little bit different kit, which is actually good, you know. It's good to tie different ones. Okay, we have all of our bows cooking. We'll put our bow maker back together, just snap the little piece back in. You can actually hear it pop when it goes back in. And we'll set those aside and let them do their thing. I'm going to put them up here so I'm not throwing paper on top of them, because that's a famous Debbie trick. Okay, there we go. We got our bows going. It'll be a little while before they're ready, but we can get the rest of our cards done and add the bows later. I should have started there. All right. Now, we're going to use some of our beautiful jewels. So we'll dig that gems pack out. You can use as many or as few jewels as you like on this one. I like lots. I think that it's hard to find, it's hard to have too much glitter and shine. On this one, I used these really bright ones because I had used some of the others already on my other cards. So depending on which pack you start with, any of these colors is going to look good, right? Any of them. So you can use whichever ones you like on any cards and they'll all look good. But I'm just going to put some jewels around here. There's three big places here. You can see on the cards it almost says put gem here because it has the printed gemstones on it. Did Mary say, Roberta, I'm going to have to try your technique with the Stamperia. I think it's going to be handy. What are you guys working with, Roberta? What's your idea? Might have to try something here. One downside of being the instructor is sometimes you miss some of the really valuable conversation that happens while you're doing your job. What will work well with the... Oh, there we go. Hello, Annette. Welcome, friend. Okay. I got my jewels on there, and I'm just, gradually going down in size as they go down around the butterfly. And as I do the last couple, I'll probably put them in smaller stones, even if they're bigger, just to kind of show that gradual diminishing in size. Tell you what I mean by that. So I've got my jewels on here. Now, I could sit and I could put singles on to do all this, or I could get I already have a piece of this tape out, no sense opening my other one. I could get my ribbon out and I can just cut the color I want. And that's what I'm going to do because it's right here. There's my little tiny scissors. I just had them. I love those little hobby journal scissors. I just had them out here. I really, really did.
I did not see them.
I don't see them either. I also love my cutter bees, but I think this might be the pair that's stalled. Let's see. Oh, this is going to work just fine. Actually, maybe this is my good pair. Okay. So I'm just going to cut right up the row of gems and cut that line free. And I'm going to put a row of those gems on the top and one on the bottom. So nice thing about this, you can use this as one piece or you can break it up. Oh, napkin embossing, but using the rice paper. Okay. I'll bet that's beautiful, actually. Yeah, that's what the animals are. The Stamperia. We're using the glittered and the glittered and clear. Wow. Yeah, that works beautifully, by the way. Really, really nice with the rice papers. Gorgeous. I love working with rice paper. I really do. You could tell maybe, you see the number of projects we've done with rice paper in the last couple of weeks. Some of you said when we started working with rice paper, you'd never seen it used before. Well, you have now. Yes, we've been rice paper crazy around here, haven't we? Like the newsletter today, honey, I titled Rice Paper. And then recap what we've done with rice paper lately. Okay. Roberta introduced us to that napkin technique, though, and I gotta say, I totally love that. I really, really love that. Okay, this card is going to be finished as soon as we put its bow on. I'm going to set that off to the side because none of our bows are quite ready yet. They take a few minutes to do. Keep my extra piece of jewels there. That one's done. Set it off to the side. Next, we'll do this one. And it's coming from this piece of cardstock. And it's using our beautiful fuchsia Miri from Crafter's Companion, and the other little card. So get all that out here. What?
Oh, Mary R's logo looks a lot like Teddy.
It is Teddy. It is Teddy. Teddy is her adoptive puppy, so she can get one. I love that. That makes me very happy. Okay, we are going to cover our card with the Fuchsia Mary. Hopefully this one's straight. This one's straight. It was just that one weird.
Mom was the head wrapper at Macy's.
Oh, I bet she knows how to do beautiful packages. Fun. I love it when you share techniques, Roberta. Any of you guys, you run into something that you just think is the best technique ever, share it with us and we'll share it with the group. Oh. We love our Teddy, so seeing Teddy's face everywhere is good with us. I like wrapping too, but it seems like I always leave it to the last minute. I like it when I have time to do it. It's like cooking. I like to cook when I have time to do it, but I always leave it to the last minute, then it's not fun. I don't like to have to rush through wrapping, and I don't like to have to rush through cooking. But I do enjoy making my packages really pretty. And because we often leave our wrapping until the last minute, then my family's impatient with me saying, don't do all that, just get the thing wrapped. Okay. And get this on here very straight, it's fine. I just have to trim off a little extra. Daddy's on her Pinterest page too.
A celebrity.
Yes, he is. And fully deserving of his celebrity, I might add. Okay, so we are going to cut our piece for the layer here, and our card is 4 1/8 wide, so we're going to cut 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 again, just a little over 5/8. That can be good. Let's see how our layer looks. Taking a little bit more off, making it closer to 5 5/8. A tiny little piece off. Now we're not putting this one down yet because we are going to wrap this. And here on my table somewhere is my packet of black ribbon. And we're looking for the shortest piece. It looks like this one's a little bit longer. A few of you got a little bit longer pieces. Most of you got a pretty short piece for this one. We were at 18 inches, and we needed 7.5 inches to cover one card and 6.5 to cover the other card, which left us just 4 inches to cover a piece that was 3 7/8 inch wide. So I'm going to assume here, just for the sake of argument, that this is closer than it is. In fact, let me just whack a piece of this off. Okay, now this is going to be really tight wrapped to get that to wrap around that card. I could probably do it, but I want to show you another way. We're going to take this, we're going to take this piece and we're going to cut it in half. I may have showed you this before with other things. And we're going to wrap each piece around when we get to that point. I actually have to put down a piece of my burgundy first. But we're going to wrap each piece around and leave a gap in the middle. Why? It's like Hollywood. They only show you what is actually going to show on your screen at the theater or at home. There's no reason why we have to have ribbon in the middle if we can hide the gap. So when you only have a small piece of ribbon or you only have a small piece of border, feel free to cut that and then hide the cut. Yeah, tidy trays. I know what a tidy tray is. We actually used to carry them. It's a tool that's been around for a while, but they can be really useful. I haven't had any for a while, so if there's interest, we can get some. Okay, I'm going to cut this piece to be I'm going to cut a piece of my fuchsia paper that's 2 inches wide. And I'm going to decide where I want it. You can see here on our sample card that I've gone just a little over midpoint on my card. I went just a little bit higher. And I'm going to do that. The reason I did that is because my bow's at the bottom. So I'm going to go just a little higher than my midpoint. And I'm going to go ahead and let's glue this faster. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I'll just trim it off on there. It's a little bit longer than I need, but I'll just trim it. I'm going to come a little bit higher than my midpoint. And then I'll trim it off. Then I'm going to wrap it with my black, which I already have adhesive on, so I have good control over my black. Teddy's really funny. If he sees a dog on my computer when he's in my lap, or he sees a dog on the television, he runs over and wants to play, barks at it, and tries to get its attention. So I'm going to center this black, and I'm going to wrap it around the back. Okay? And I'm going to center. If you have a longer piece of the black, you don't have to worry about it, but I thought this was a useful technique to talk about. So rather than adding another $1 to your kit price by dropping in another half yard, because yes, this stuff is $2 a yard, rather than dropping another $1 into your kit price, I just put a shorter piece and thought we'll talk about this technique. So I'm going to center this on this side. This is a good place to do this too, because you know exactly where it has to go in order to match up. I mean, I don't even have to match the two sides. I can gauge where I'm putting it by the fuchsia that I'm putting it on top of. Okay, so we got that. Now I'm going to want a little piece of my ribbon. Get my jeweled ribbon out here. I did not find I needed any extra adhesive for this ribbon here. I'm going to cut just about maybe an 1.5 inch piece of this. I'm going to go ahead and peel it first. Then I'm going to cut it in half because I don't like having to peel it. Oops, I just lost a stone off it. I'll have to glue one back on. I will glue the one that goes there on. And I can tell you that we're going to need about 4 columns, for lack of a better way of putting it. I need about 4 columns on either side. I'm putting that right. I'm centering that on my black. It doesn't require any extra adhesive. These gems are really nice and sticky in the rolls. I need to pick this one back up and put it back where it belongs because I cut it with my fingernail and knocked it off. But it's still nice and sticky where it goes, so let's stick right back in there. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to get our topper out. First time we're using one of our toppers off our sheet. I'm going to pop this one out, and we're going to pop out the spread your wings and fly. Let's go ahead and put this one down to our card. Now you will notice that this time, because this is pretty bulky ribbon, I'm going to put my layering sheet up on some foam squares. Find our foam squares here. I do have a sheet of foam squares open. I'll use those instead of opening another. Oh, she hears his caller. That's cute. Do you have the cat videos that have the squirrels and the wildlife, the birds and stuff for Molly to watch, Betty? There's a really cute one. You have to make sure that you've cleared any room around your TV when they watch those cat videos, though, because they'll knock everything off trying to get to the birds and the squirrels and stuff. So I'm adding a few squares on this side to hold this topper up in place.
Betty says she has 8 hours long.
What's that?
The cat video she has. Is 8
Oh,
hours long.
That's a good one. Molly leads a charmed life, doesn't she? If you haven't read it, be sure to read Betty's book on Amazon. It's available on Amazon, called A Home for Molly. It's a totally charming story of Molly's adoption from Molly's perspective. Very, very cute. I enjoyed it very much. Okay. The bad thing about foam squares is peeling all the little tabs. I have all different sizes of foam squares in the store. And as much as I hate peeling them, you would think that I would treat myself to some of the bigger ones so I don't have to do this. But I just seem to always use the little ones. I don't know. I'm cheap, I guess. Okay, there's my topper in place, or my layer in place, not really my topper. And here is my actual topper. It's going to go right over the top here now. I want my topper to sit here. I'm going to put some foam squares under it because it's sitting up on that. It's going to just rest on that in the center. So I'm going to put 3 foam squares at the top, 3 foam squares at the bottom to just hold that in place where it's resting on the ribbon. Isn't this black ribbon just beautiful? We also have this in other colors to accent your cards. These actually come in like a 3-color pack. I think the black one comes with teal and green. They're really, really beautiful and really fun to just use. She's helping you. Cats love to help you type. They do all kinds of fun things like lay down on your keyboard. Get up, rub whiskers in your face when you're trying to work.
That's Roberta's dog is helping her.
Oh, your dog is helping you. That's cute. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. I've got this here now. I want to put this on some foam squares as well, just get a little added dimension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 foam square deep. I just got that glue on my finger, and now I got to get rid of it. There we go. I'm going to put 1 foam square deep on the part that's resting on my topper. And I'm going to put 2 foam squares deep because I actually have 2 layers under that now, right? So I'm going to stack my foam squares 2 deep, just lay one on top of the other, and put under this side that is over the card instead of over the topper. So just stack them 2 deep. Yeah, pets find all kinds of ways to get your attention, don't they? Teddy has almost learned now that if he tries to squeak his toys and stuff and we're working out here that we're not going to respond, but we respond by taking the toys, which is worse. But he sure tried and tried and tried at first to get us to stop that. Okay, I just realized that sticks so much better if you take the tape off the bottom. All right, I'm going to put some gems up here on top. And I can use any ones I want. I think I'm going to use the deep, almost red one because I think that's pretty.
Can you?
Excuse me?
But can you really use any one you want? Because last week you actually used half of those on
that is true. And whatever you use here, you will not have on the other ones. But all of these gems are going to look good on all of your cards. So you can really kind of use any you want and then fill in the other direction with the rest of them. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to come... No, actually, I didn't put those on the bottom because I have my bow on the bottom. So we do have bow. I put those up here at the top, and then I still move stuff and put them on top. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my bows. Go here on the bottom. That's pretty. I'm going to trim the tails in a way that I like. I'm going to bring these down. It'd be nice if my tails were the other way around.
Mary R. suggests that you should talk to Adam that he should put foam tape on a roll like glue dots so that we don't have to deal with the paper.
That's a thought. I think actually he just buys pre-manufactured stuff, but one of those manufacturers should do that. Wonder if they... I'm not sure where they all get all these foam squares. I know of one foam square company, and actually I'll be seeing them in the spring, I think. I'll ask them about it if I remember. There's a company called Sticks Tube that we've done direct business with before, but we haven't dealt with them for a long time. And they actually manufacture a lot of the tapes and stuff that the rest of these guys buy and use.
I go direct.
Maybe. We'll see. It's worth a question.
Had their stuff for a long time.
Yeah, we did. Okay, here we go, guys. It's finished. Last time I used a 1/2-inch ribbon. That might be why I was coming. That might be why I was coming up short, is I used the 1/2-inch ribbon on this one last time. I didn't notice that. That might be why I was short. I'll have to compare it to the other cards. Just make sure. There we go, though. Okay. Yeah, Hunkydory buys, I'm sure, I'm positive actually, but they don't manufacture their own. They would buy theirs from another company. What did they do? Oh. Okay, let's see. Let's get this one a bow that we finished earlier, and then it will be done. Let's see where my sample is. And I just put it right on there. Pretty much just up at the top. I actually kind of like the long tails on this one. I think I'll leave the tails long. Just trim them a bit. Here's that one that we finished. Our original and our, that's no two cards are ever identical. I don't think. They all turn out just a little bit different. Okay, next up, let's do this one. We're going to need our DL card. We're going to need our DL mirror board. You're going to notice this black shed, so you're not going to like me while you're working with it, but once we tuck it underneath, you don't have any problem with the little glitteries falling off anymore. So we're going to put this DL mirror board on here. That's interesting. The DL mirror board is just a little smaller than the DL card, but we can either trim it or we can leave a white border. We're going to grab this piece of cardstock, and you'll recall we said we were going to trim a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit off this edge so that we can grab that butterfly and keep that butterfly full. So I'm going to trim off about, I'm going to say about 1/4 of an inch. I think that's going to put me, yeah, that's just about where I was in the original. And I'm going to, well, I'll trim down the length after I trim the sides. Okay, so we're going from 4 1/8. We want to border around with our Mary. So I'm going to go to 3 7/8. And it's going to need to be a little bit narrower than that. So I'm going to go to, I think I'm just going to go ahead and go to 3 3/4. And that's closer. I still could use a tiny bit, I think. So I'm going to 3 5/8. There we go. 3 5/8 ends up being our width. Our length is identical right now, so we should be able to take 1/4 of an inch off and get an 1/8 inch border. So I'm just going to take about 1/4 off the top, not off the bottom, because I'm already closer with my butterfly, and take it off the top. Let's see how that does. That looks good. Still a little tight though. And take a little bit more off. Take it off the top or the bottom, depending on what pattern I want to keep the most. Yeah, that's going to look good. That's going to be just right there. That's going to be beautiful. Okay. All right. Now, we'd already discussed the fact that this Mary, even though it's a DL Mary, is ever so slightly smaller than my cardstock. But I think it's actually going to be kind of pretty to just leave that little bit of a white border there. I'm going to try it. I'm going to just leave that little bit of a white border there. I am going to need to take a little bit off the length because my Mary is longer than my DL card. It looks like I need to take off almost 1/2 inch. I'm going to take it off in smaller increments, though, just so that I know I'm not getting too carried away. Because I'm only leaving a tiny, tiny border around. I need like 1/16 more. There we go. Now see these little fingerprints on my Mary? If you've got your microfine polishing cloth, you can actually easily get rid of all those fingerprints. These are also good on your photos. We sell a yellow one in the store from Scrap Perfect that is perfect for your glasses. It does such a good job on taking the film off your glasses. Okay, I'm going to glue down my mirror board because I have just ever so fine a margin around this. But remember, when we're gluing on Mary board is not very heavy, and it is so highly reflective that we will see our seam unless we flatten out that glue line with your finger before you put it down. So remember to do that. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. You can always join us. Doesn't matter what part in the class we're in. We like to see new friends come in. Okay, so I've got my Mary down. I've left just the tiniest border around it. I've now got my butterfly sheet to put down. And I'm going to need to take some more off the length of it. I've got about, I'm going to take about 3/8 off to start with, and then I'll go from there. Sample card. And I'm going to take just a little tiny bit off the top. I like that butterfly up there. I want to keep him, so I'm going to take a little bit off the flowers at the bottom. You'll have to choose what you're willing to sacrifice, but that's what I'm going to do. See my mirror board here, guys? It might have been still better to put it down with tape. I just want you to see what I'm getting. See there? See the ridge I'm getting around it? Even though I rubbed it with my finger, I'm still getting a little bit of a ridge around there. Your husband got you a Caterpillar Pro? Well, he's a keeper. Now, it's not going to show much, that little bit of ridging I'm getting, but I wanted to show you why we do that, where we rub it down, and why tape is generally maybe the better choice for putting mirror board on your cardstock. That's looking good right there. Okay, I'm going to take a piece of ribbon. Can you get me another piece of that fine ribbon, honey?
You have it. You have the roll over there.
I have the roll?
Maybe not.
I don't think so. I think you handed me a ribbon. Thank you. We're going to take just about maybe 10 inches of ribbon. He gave it to you early? Oh, you are spoiled. Okay. I'm going to put tape on my ribbon. I'd rather use tape than glue generally because I don't want it seeping through. I'm going to center this tape right over my ribbon. Oops. Try not to do what I just did, which was to get it off center. Try that again. It's on center on one end and off center on the other end. Let's just pull that off and try it again. All right, you are going to love your caterpillar. Okay, I've got my tape on my ribbon. I'm going to peel my tape. It's easier with the tape to peel it in the center and work back both directions. I'm going to position my ribbon over just about an inch of my image. I'm going to come in right at the, I'll show you where I'm coming in, just a little bit over the bottom wing of the butterfly, and it's almost touching the wing on top. But I still get to see most of my butterfly that way. Here's my position of my ribbon. I'm going to
just wrap your tails around the back.
I just wrapped the tails around the back and stuck them down with the tape that was on there. And that's nice and secure now. And this ribbon is not so heavy that you have to put it up on foam squares. Looking to make room. And Betty says, throw out the old ones. Then you'll have room. That's something I have problems with, Betty. I get a new one or something, and then I just can't bear to, I always worry, well, what if something happens to it? I need a spare. What if somebody's over crafting with me? Good idea, Karen. It doesn't have as much, the solvent glues don't have as much moisture in them. So that can be a good solution for the ripple in the paper. As can just using tape. Sometimes I get lazy, especially in here where I'm trying to get things done kind of on a timeline. Okay. But my tape flags would have taken care of that too. All right, I'm going to put my bow on. I have a beautiful bow that I'm going to hang on here. And I'm going to put my bow where I'm just barely overlapping that white butterfly. Just a little bit. You're going to overlap some butterfly no matter where you go on here, but I like to retain as much of the butterfly as I can. I'm going to trim some whale tails in my ribbon. To do that, I'm forming a taco with the loose sides up and trimming outward towards the end of the ribbon. And I get a pretty little notch in the end. I've got my ribbon on, and then I'm going to attach, I don't think I took it off my sheet yet. Yeah, have a lovely day. And I'm putting that just above my ribbon, kind of tucked in a little bit behind it. And I'm just going to use a little piece of tape for that. There we go. And put that in here. Now, I want to show you something before we go further. Hopefully you can pick this up on camera.
Hold it back. Thank you.
This is with the Jewel Dazzles. I hope you can see this well. This is with the Jewel Dazzles. It's really not as sparkly on camera as it is in person. This is without the Jewel Dazzles. The Jewel Dazzles add everything to this card. Now, if you chose to, you could use your rhinestones instead. You could use these Jewel Dazzles and your rhinestones interchangeably. This just happened to be the one where I used the Jewel Dazzles on it. And I'm going to place a few of them, and then we'll just talk through them so that I'm not taking up a lot of your time just placing stickers. When you see them in person, it's absolutely worth it to put the stickers on. You just can't tell that much on camera, but in person, it's huge difference. Huge, huge. Okay. I'm going to put a few of my jewels on now, and then, like I said, I think I'll let you just put the rest of yours on. I'll show you on camera where I'm putting them. I used 4 of the largest ones on the biggest butterfly. I really wish you could see the glitter of these better because they're spectacular in person. Then I used a small one for the head of this butterfly. And I used the littler ones to come down his body. Now, when I use these tiny, tiny Jewel Dazzles, what I like to do is to fold my paper, and I actually roll them off on my finger. I find that to be the easiest way, excuse me, for me to manage all these little pieces.
Ernest, do you find they adhere well?
These, yes, very well. Yeah, I don't really have any trouble with these falling off. You'll have more trouble with your gemstones than you have with these because they're so flat. I don't have any trouble with the jeweled bezels. The taller stones, you know, they get bumped a little more. Just stack 2 of them up there. I'm going to take time in class to try and unstack them. I probably would. True confession time, I probably would take them off of each other if you weren't all watching. You can put as many or as few as you like on this butterfly. I've done his body now. Can I get up closer to the camera without that getting fuzzy?
Pretty close.
And can you see it?
Yeah. You can hold it to the little camera and get it even clearer.
Yeah, but you get a pretty good view there. You can see how much sparkle that's adding when I get it a little bit closer to the camera. I'm going to put medium ones at the ends of his wings. It's one of the things I like about the jewel dazzles is there's a variety of sizes on the sheet. And his other spot there is covered up. I'm going to put a tiny one at the very end of his wing. And I think that's where I'm going to stop for now. But let me hold the sample card up and let me see if I can get in close enough to get you a good view of where I placed everything. Am I good here? Am I still good? Am I getting fuzzy or am I okay there?
I think you're okay right there.
Okay. So take a good look at where we placed the jewels on the sample. If you can.
It's even clearer with the little camera.
Is it clear with the little camera?
Yeah, but you can't hold it. Gotta hold it up.
Well, I can't point to anything if I'm...
You don't need to push it up. Just hold it right up in front of your face.
Hold it in front of my face.
Well...
I feel like I'm playing Indian poker.
Yeah, maybe. It's a good one right in there.
Okay, so you can get it. You can get it. Okay, so you can get a pretty good view of where we're putting things. I used a few more to outline. Okay. All right. And there, you can use the photograph too to help place your dazzles. I just don't want you to feel like I left you. Okay, that one's done. Let's do this one. We're going to do an easel card.
Hour and 38.
Okay, we're doing fine then. Because we're 3 cards in. So we're doing pretty well. Okay, I think this will be... I told you that this is going to be an experiment with the adhesive, black glitter paper. We're going to give that a shot right here. To make your easel card, it's as simple as that, guys. Take your 5x7. Fold one side into the fold line and crease it. Of course, I used my sturdy bone folder. My thumbnail. So I'm going to grab this black glitter paper, and I'm using the leftovers. You have sheets you'll have to cut down, but I'm using the leftover pieces. And I'm going to cut this to 7 inches wide because I think my life will be easier if I do. Maybe a little over 7. And I'm going to try this adhesive paper. If it's too challenging for this, then I think that it would work fine on the paper layers, but let's try it with this and just see what we think, because why not? I'm sure you'll be able to use it effectively for some of the layering. You do have to be able to get under between the levers, probably. You will peel it a little. I have an edge piece here. Once we get it peeled, it should be easy to use. No adhesive. Just getting it peeled is the challenge. I'm going to take it clear off. I'm going to lay, actually, you know what? This is flexible enough. I'll bet we could do this without cutting this. I usually do this in 2 pieces, but as long as we're experimenting, I'm going to experiment right here. This is so highly flexible that I'm believing that I can put this on here and not have to cut my channel where I usually do. We're going to try it and see if it works. It works. If it doesn't, then I'll tell you it didn't. But, or show you it didn't. Just got to get it on there straight. It's really, really flexible paper, though, so that may be a really good use for this glitter paper. Is times where you need just a little bit of flexibility. Well, look at that. I'm pretty impressed. Okay, I'll trim this down. I did overshoot or undershoot just a tiny bit on one side. I'm going to trim that off. What?
Well, that's going to get 6 to 8 inches of snow, and Karen Williams is up to 15 inches in New York.
Wow. You got 15 inches in New York, then there's a good possibility that Jordan's going to get some snow in Connecticut. She's been waiting. She's a Pacific Northwest girl. She still gets excited about snow. And don't worry, she won't drive in it. I don't think you'll get her to go anywhere. Not if she's driving. Okay, so guys, I'm really kind of excited here. Usually, I cut my paper for my easel card in 2 pieces to allow it to bend around there. But that black glitter paper, the adhesive paper, is so flexible, I was able to put it on in 1 sheet. Now I do have to trim my paper just a little because you can see I got it off just a tiny, tiny bit. But I'm pretty excited about this for this use. This is good. Now we know. So I have little pieces of adhesive glitter paper all over my fingers. So I'm going to trim this just a tiny, tiny amount to get rid of the white where I left it showing on the end. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool right there. Okay, grab your 8x8 working paper and just a piece of cardstock in your kit. And we're going to pop out from our topper sheet this big topper at the top. And we are going to build a topper assembly on our cardstock. You've heard me say this before. There are times when kind of a floppy element over the top is okay, like if you're cutting a word or something that goes over the top, or a maybe a frame that comes up and over. But just as a general rule, I don't like floppy elements coming up over the top in my cards. So if I want to use something like this ring, I'll put this whole assembly on a piece of cardstock and build it there and then cut around it so I have a nice solid element where possible. And that's what I'm doing now. I gave you an extra piece of cardstock so that you could build a solid element and still get the layering in this 3-piece topper. Pop off those pesky foam square bits. That's what we get out here. We don't get a lot of snow, but what we get in the winter time is ice, and that's nasty. We have a lot of hills, there's not a lot of flat area in Oregon. Everything is hills and valleys, and so when it gets icy, it gets hard to get around. There just isn't a lot of flat area. Okay, once I've done that, I'm going to glue my ring, my second layer, down flat. I'm going to take my glue bottle and run it around the inside of my ring so I don't have to insert this and get glue all over my topper. I can just stick it inside into the glue and then line it up where I want it. Then I'm going to put some foam squares on my center. Okay. I don't mind if we get snow here. We don't get it very often, and I wouldn't mind at all getting some snow here if it weren't that Lauren has to drive to work, which probably means I'd be getting up and taking her. It should be okay, I guess, but might be worth it just to get some snow. Okay, cutting around this now, because we did all of this just so that we would have a nice piece of cardstock behind our images. Doesn't have to be a fancy cutting job, it's just to hold everything steady. If you adhere to glitter, I recommend that rather than tape, you're using, even though this glitter is like super fine, but it's a little bit rougher than cardstock, so I recommend glue instead of tape. So remember, you're only gluing halfway. You're only putting glue up to the halfway point. The other half is going to hang up above when our card is creased. A little bit of glue on my glitter paper. I did notice before that I could take a baby wipe and wipe it right off. Okay, I'm liking the way that looks. I might go just a little bit higher. And it might take just a minute to stick. We've got this going now. Here's how it adheres on. Still wanting to be a little pesky about sticking. I just got to give it a second to let it adhere good. All right, I'm using a bow. Where have my bows gone? They're sticking to something. I've lost a bow. Remember when I said I throw my papers on top of them, and then there it is. There they are. I'm going to go ahead and trim my tails on this one before I put it on. I think that was a little easier. Create a little whale tail, make my taco, trim upward and towards the end of my ribbon. And put my bow on the top here. That tack good. I'm going to add my You're So Special at the bottom. Now, if you have insert paper for this pack, you're going to want to use insert paper in the center to create a nice colorful inside. If you do not have insert paper, you can take part of the remainder of our cardstock You can take some of the remainder of our gray, and you can use that as an insert, which is really pretty. The downside is that you will need to write on this with a Sharpie marker. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And then I'm going to take I'm going to take the border piece we had left over. No, I'm not. That's not it. There is a border piece, a really pretty border piece left over from our last cardstock set from our roses. That would be beautiful here. You can also use the one in this kit, which is fine. I liked the one in the other set better, but I'm going to use this one this time because it's what I have. Because I don't know what I did with my other one. It's somewhere in my mess here. We've been building kits for the last couple days, so I have a royal mess because I have pieces of everything out to build the kits. So I think, where did that go? I'm going to cut this down to 6, maybe 6 3/4, and look at that. No, it's too big. I'm going to cut it to 6 1/2, and I'm just centering this gray piece in the middle of my card on the inside because I wasn't using it for something else, and it's prettier than leaving it blank. So I'm going to put that there. Some tape. I realize I'm working behind the card. Sorry. All I'm doing is putting tape down. And we are finishing up number 4. We have 1 shaker card left to go and we'll be done, guys. I really like the way this adhesive paper worked on this easel card. That was fun. It's amazing how you make these discoveries when you just, necessity is the mother of invention. I will use easel paper for this again because, or the adhesive paper on my easel cards because I don't have to cut it. And it's so flexible, so that's really cool. I'm going to put my border strip inside here. And as long as I have it, I might just as well use a piece of my shaker tape to be my stopper. And a cinch roll of shaker tape. I might just as well use that. And you can either put one piece in the middle or you can double it up and go too wide. I think I'm going to go too wide.
Why?
Well, it's just more stable, not tippy at all. But I could have gotten away with one. One of my pieces peeled itself. Take the other off. I have a nice sticky border, and I'm going to put down my butterfly kisses across here to be the stopper. Now I have a nice tall stopper in there. Will catch my card nicely. The higher you want your card to stand, the further back you put your stopper. I put mine kind of towards the front this time, but I could have put it anywhere I wanted. Need to trim off my extra piece here on the end. And the only other thing I did with this was to use some of the bright gems.
And
Thank you. I used some of the bright gems to You know, make it look finished. 1, 2. Two little ones and a big one. Two little ones and a big one. In a row. Looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. So this one is finished. We have one left to go, guys. You still with me? Mary R. Lord Stockham.
Karen has to go.
Oh, bye, Karen. See you on the rewind. Okay, we got one left to go, guys. Hang in there with me. Just a couple more minutes and we're just about done. I'm going to fold a card. We're going to cover it directly with this piece of beautiful cardstock we have left. Border to the left. Shaker cards always look like you put a lot of time into them. They really don't take much time at all. And because you don't have to do a lot of embellishment on a shaker card to get nice results. So we are going to peel our cardstock. We are going to place our covering paper. Oh, darn it, I can't put something on straight for the life of me today. It's just literally just a 32nd of an inch off. It's just enough to barely show, so I'm making it go away. Okay. I am cutting out around my card. I am going to get my topper out. I'm sorry, Betty. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh. COVID, man. I'm so sorry that you lost a friend. That's terrible. A relative. Okay. We got our frame. We're going to set that aside because we're going to put a window in that momentarily. Actually, I'm not going to put it aside quite yet. I'm going to use this to determine where I'm going to place my insert. And I've decided now where I want this. I want this right here. I can go ahead and tape or glue this down right now. I just have to have an eye towards where I want it to be.
Karma is spending her birthday with us.
Shari, you're spending your birthday with us. I feel honored, friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. Okay, I know that this came right to the edge of my jewels there. And this might be just a little low. I'm going to move it up just a little, not that much. About there. Just once I put my frame on, that's going to take me right where I want to be. Okay, glue that down. Next, we're going to build our frame. we got this. Somewhere here we got a piece of acetate. There it is. We are going to put some tape on our frame, and we are going to put our acetate on the back of our frame and create a window. This is not the piece that has to be tight. This is just holding the window in place. So you can just use little pieces of tape, go around the outside. You're not worrying about actually sealing this one. But when we do our other piece of tape with our shaker tape, that's where we want to seal it. So mine's just kind of messy. I will peel my tape. If I have any hanging to the inside or to the outside, I'll just fold it over on itself to make it go back onto the frame. Okay, got my tape off. Gonna position my frame over the top of that. My frame is really messy looking. Where is my polishing cloth? Put it away. I didn't forget. Put it away. There it is. I'm just gonna polish this up a little bit before I make it messy again. I just don't want to have fingerprints all over the inside. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. Don't stick yet. Okay. I'll stick that over the top. I'm going to trim my acetate around the edges. It's really, based on the size of the acetate that I gave you, just means you're cutting off the corners. Did I tell you guys? I think I did, that these kits are now out there and available. They are now available online. Okay. Let's see. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our shaker tape out. Hello there. And we're going to run a bead of shaker tape right around the inside. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but you want to be right around the inside of the window, not the outside, but the inside of the window. Keep it back from the window. You don't want it to show from the outside, but you want it to be as close to the window as you can get it without having it be seen from the inside. The reason for that,
And why?
because you don't want your shaker elements to all fall out of sight, which they will do if you have your tape way back. It will hide, it will allow your shaker elements to hide. You're going to bring these up really close as you can get them. We're going to trim off our tape. And if there's any gap at all, which I don't have, but look it over. If there's any gap at all, add another piece of tape to the outside of that one. Just make sure that everything stays in.
Mary R is reminding you to use your magic powder.
I have my magic powder bag right here, and I'm glad that you are staying on top of me and reminding me, Mary R. You're the best. Thank you. My magic powder is my embossing magic powder bag. It is a wonderful tool. It is not in your kit, but it is something that's worth making an investment in if you're going to make very many shaker cards. Because I'm going to use my powder bag.
Say goodbye to Elsie.
Elsie, nice that you were able to hang in here with us and visit. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the replay. Thanks for dropping by. I'm using my powder bag to make a mess, put powder all over my acetate, and I'm trying to kind of butt it up against the inside border of my shaker tape, which sounds counterintuitive. Why would you want to get it on your tape? I don't want to get it on the top. That's why I haven't peeled my tape yet. But I'm trying to get it on the inside edge of my tape, where the tape's been cut, it can be a little sticky. And I don't want all my shaker elements to stick to that and not be free to move about. Now, I just cleaned this up all nice and pretty so I could fog it all up just like that.
Say hi to Diane.
Hi, Diane. Welcome. You need to make it foggy in order to create kind of an anti-static in there. Now I'm peeling my tape, but I'm not going to stick it down until I put my shaker elements in. I know I had you worried there for a second. I had myself worried for a second because I just realized after I started peeling it, I had not put my shaker elements in yet. And you have this packet of these absolutely spectacular little holographic stars. You only need for shaker elements, guys, you can add as much as you like. I usually use somewhere in the area of half a teaspoon of shaker. I've seen cards, manufacturers especially of the confetti and stuff. Man, they fill those things half full. But I don't think it's necessary to get the movement that you want or the effect that you want. I don't think you have to use a whole jar of shaker elements. They just want you to do that because it sells more confetti. I can get 20 cards, maybe 25 out of a bottle of confetti by using about a half a teaspoon, thereabouts, of shaker components in a card. And they look spectacular. So you choose. You can use more if you like, but I usually put in about a half a teaspoon in our kits. I got a few little stars scattered here, and me, I have to reclaim as many of them as I can because it's my way. And the rest of you guys do that, sit and look for all the little pieces and put them in there. I'm going to match this ring up to my card. I'm going to push it down really firmly because I don't want any escapee stars. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to shake it up real good. And by turning it over and shaking it up real good, I'm knocking the powder off of the acetate. And I'm letting my confetti run wild inside. Now I want to show you something. This one I made without using the pillow. And it has, in fairness, it has 2mm tape instead of 3mm tape. But look, It hardly shakes at all. This is done with 3mm tape, the same amount of confetti, and look how it moves. Here's a perfect illustration of using the powder bag versus not using the powder bag and the difference that it can make to knock the static off of that film. Okay, we're going to put our last couple of embellishments on here. I'm going to take a piece of my ribbon here. I have lots of ribbon left. Do I want the whole thing? Nah, I don't think I want the whole thing. I'm going to use a dark piece though, because I have it left, and why not? It will really show. And I'm going to put a dark strip down the...
Rand's asking, will the cloudiness clear up?
The cloudiness is almost gone already. What happens is, that's why I turned it upside down to shake it. I turn it upside down to shake it, and the confetti knock the powder off. Now, this one looks more clear than this one does because this one's closer to the cardstock. This one's not as close to the cardstock. That's part of it. And a little bit of it is the powder. But when you take a look at the difference in movement, it's amazing, the difference. Okay, so I've cut off a piece of my trim here. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to reach up under here. I didn't want to put this down first because I absolutely would not want these gems to be underneath this foam that's connecting my card to the, or that is sealing my acetate packet, because I think you might get escapee stars if you did that, if you ran your gems underneath. So it's way better to reach up under and just add them where you can reach. And where you can reach is what you'll see, so that works well anyway. Just for fun on this one, just for a little different effect, I used, it's a little on there. There we go. I used the silver jewel dazzles because I thought the holographic thing was kind of fun together with this. And I used a medium and 2 smalls. I may just use 3 mediums this time and see what it looks like. I have to straighten these with my tweezers. Let's get them on there to begin with. Put 3 dazzles on. And then just for fun, I put stones in the middle of my center dazzle. You could do it on all 3 if you wanted. But I kind of pick up that holographic look a little bit with the jewel dazzles. I actually like the bigger ones. I pick up the holographic look with the jewel dazzles and then pick up the rhinestones with the jewel in the middle. That looks pretty nice. I knew I had it on my finger somewhere. I lost it. Okay. All right, and I'm going to add one more rhinestone. It's nice that these rhinestones are from the same company, so you can use the ones off the sheet or you can use the ones off the roll interchangeably. And another rhinestone there. Get my last bow. Trim the tails. The bow wants to stick to me. And put my bow slightly overlapping my shaker. How beautiful is that, guys? Okay, that's 5 cards. How much time did we take, Kenny?
2 hours, 21 minutes.
Well, that's not too bad. That's less than a half an hour a card. In fact, if you figure that it took us a few minutes to get started, we moved right along there. Okay, let's take a look at our finished beautiful projects. We have this one. We have this one. I'm really excited about that adhesive black. We have this one. I'll show you the one that's finished. We have this one. And we have this one. Now, we have one thing left to do. When you're finished with your roses, you should take some of your extra rhinestones. Let me see if I can get in here where you can see. Can you see that?
Yep.
Take some of your leftover rhinestones and come back in. You have little starburst patterns on your toppers on this, as well as on the roses kit. There'll be little silver starbursts. It's like those starbursts are calling out to you, place stone here. Use some of your extra embellishments, and it doesn't matter if they all match. Just go back in and add little rhinestones here and there. On my sample card, I put rhinestones. I actually cut these off the ribbon because I had so many I wanted to place. I placed them every third stone all the way around this frame because I thought it was really pretty. And you have on this card, there's like 3 or 4 places that say place stone here. We didn't want to do that till we were done making the basics, but once you're done putting down the pattern, then go back in and add. I did that on this card too. This was actually my sample card. I did that here. And just go back in and add extra rhinestones off of your sheets. You have plenty of embellishments. You can embellish all of these and, you know, your poodle and anything else that doesn't get out of your way when you're sticking stickers. So I do not have a show and tell today because I don't know what we're making next. Yeah, this running the whole show with just Brittany and Margie and I takes a toll on productivity, but I will have things. I will get some ideas together and I will have something for you soon. Don't forget, we have beautiful kits out there and available. This is a perfect way to share your hobby with other people because they can come to the video for instruction, and most new card makers can follow us too. So think about some of those kits we just put up as potential Christmas gifts or gifts for yourself. So we have a nice assortment out there right now. We still have knitting yarn available for those of you who need to wrap up just a few little extra gifts here and there. Think about some of that knitting yarn. And we've got the beautiful coaster sets. We are set and ready for you. We have 26 people watching. I see 12 thumbs up, 27 people watching. So if you're watching now and you think this video was fun and useful and you like the card designs and want to see more of them, give me that thumbs up, guys. That's my attaboy that says you like what's happening and you want to see more of it. So please give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. It makes me feel great and it helps our YouTube stats. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss an episode. You never know what we're going to be up to or what we're going to be talking about. Thank you for sharing us on Pinterest, Mariara. I always appreciate that. And share us on Facebook, on other social media. Say, hey, I just hung out with my friend Debbie and we made cards. I would love it if you would do that. And I think that's it for tonight, friends and neighbors. I'll come up with something special for you for next week, and I will let you know soon what that's going to be. I'm Debbie from Simply Special Crafts, and it's time to say goodnight, Gracie.